already drawn out the shape of the head that I'm going to use. I've gone for the kind of balloon sort of shape. I've got quite a sort of rounded head near the top, and then I've got quite a pointy chin, so I think this is probably the most appropriate head shape to use to get sort of the closest to me as possible. So what I'm going to draw on to that first is some eyes. Now I've decided to go for the small round eyes because I've got quite little eyes myself, and I think they'll probably again suit me the best. So let's get those drawn on. So you want to aim to put them, I'm going to put a guideline just so you can see roughly, so almost halfway down really, because a lot of this will obviously be taken up with hair and things. So let's put the first one on. And there's the second one. And I'll put the pupils in. Again, you can put the pupils wherever you want, put them towards the middle, put them over towards, you know, the inside of the eye, whichever you feel most like doing. And next I'm going to do the nose. So I've got quite a small nose. I wouldn't quite class it as a button nose, but I'm going to use one of the little button noses, as I think it's the closest. I certainly haven't got the quite sort of long angular nose that most of the others fall into. So I'll draw the little button nose on, and that's usually just made up of a little kind of triangle, and you can shape that accordingly. So you can see there, triangle I did, so it's slightly angled, so this side comes down slightly longer than this side, so it's not a perfect triangle. This side's ever so slightly shorter. And I've joined the bottom up here, and then I curve this bit here, sort of in towards the right side, and then I've brought that back out slightly and up to kind of make the bridge of the nose. And then the mouth, again, because I've got quite small features, I'm going to go with a small mouth, and I'm going to do just the little line mouth for mine. So let's put that there. So you want to aim to put it a little bit around this area. I've left a bit of gap here, so obviously if you wanted to turn this into an open mouth, you've got the space to do it without it being too much into the chin. And then the next step is to put some more features on. So ears seem to be pretty standard in most of the characters that I looked at, and they usually will fall around this area here, and they're this sort of shape. So just a very just a rounded, and they're quite short and little. So let's put these on this side. I mean, if you do happen to have quite large ears and you want to exaggerate them, then that's obviously entirely up to you. Tidy some of these little lines up in a minute. So we've got ears, eyes, nose and a mouth, and eyebrows. So again, there's not too many patterns with eyebrows. Obviously, depending how you position them adds a lot of character in itself. If you know, put them at that sort of angle, it's going to make, you know, your character look a bit more sinister. I've noticed a lot of them are quite nicely shaped. You do get the occasion where they're just a sort of a curved line. I'm going to try and put some in. They usually seem to kind of come down into this point at the end there. So you want to try and get them relatively symmetrical. Sorry, this pencil's not fantastic. The lead's broken in it and it keeps dropping out. That will do. I will tidy that up in a little bit. Hair-wise, that obviously varies again from character to character, but what I've noticed is most of the characters in Tim Burton stuff, they tend to have fairly old-fashioned kind of hairstyles. You never see anyone with really kind of gelled, slicked, modern-looking hair. You don't really get, you know, the shave size, the quiffy tops, that sort of thing that's obviously quite fashionable nowadays. So again, it's up to you what you do here, whether you want to kind of follow more Tim Burton tradition and give yourself a slightly more retro, dulled down hairstyle. Or whether you want to try and modern it up a little bit. It's up to you. My hair is probably about shoulder length, and I've got the remnants of a fringe left, so I'm going to try and draw that in. I think another thing to aim for as well is you want to make the hair look fairly stiff if you can, because obviously a lot of the Tim Burton characters are done in stop motion, and their hair's normally got this slightly solid waxy look. It doesn't sort of flow or, you know, look really wispy, so you can kind of be fairly blocky with drawing the hair in, rather than you know, try and draw lots of faint detailed lines. So let's try and draw in some hair. So I'll try and draw in what's left of my fringe first, which I'm gonna bring across here. Like so. And bring my hair down. And give it that slightly retro look, that feel you get from the characters in Tim Burton. I'm going to give it a little bit of a flick out on the ends like that, and just bring in a bit more shape at the top here, and then this side we'll bring it in from the middle here. Follow this curve around. And again, bring that behind that ear there. And we'll bring this side out the same, so we'll give this side a little bit of a Retro Flick 2. Okay, so we've got some hair, so it's starting to take shape now. So we'll put a little bit more onto this part here, the neck, etc. And one thing I've definitely noticed is most of the characters, the more slender ones, tend to just be a lot of neck and then go into shoulder. They've got quite long necks. The characters that tend to be rounder and shorter don't really have much in the way of neck at all, if any. So I'm a fairly skinny person, so I'm going to give myself quite a skinny long neck. You can see this in some of his films that he's worked on, like Mars Attacks. There's even characters in that have got this slender neck. Bring that into shoulder. Sorry, camera's running away a bit there. And bring the shoulder in here. Let's put a neckline on that. Just bring that down so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to just add a couple of stripes on to the top. That seems to be another little Tim Burton trait there. He seems to love his stripes on people. Tweedledum and Tweedledee in Alice in Wonderland or in Beetlejuice, they seem to crop up everywhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll cut and I'll tidy up a couple of the loose pencil lines, and then we'll look a little bit about adding some shading in just to finish that off.